Egregious actions UK, France Canada slam Israel's Gaza takeover plan. Netanyahu responds. The leaders of the United Kingdom, France, and Canada condemned Israel's plan to take control of the entire Gaza Strip, accusing it of egregious actions. The three countries also warned of joint action if it did not halt a heightened military offensive in Gaza. This came after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday said his country would take control of the whole of Gaza, as the military pressed a newly intensified campaign in the war-ravaged territory. Netanyahu said it was necessary to prevent a famine in Gaza for diplomatic reasons. Netanyahu's announcement came as Israel's military stepped up an offensive in Gaza as part of its prolonged response to Hamas' October 7 attack in 2023. At least 3,340 people have been killed since Israel resumed strikes on March 18, as per Gaza's health ministry. And the leaders of the UK, France, and Canada Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron and Mark Carney slammed Israel's blocking of aid and comments by ministers in Netanyahu's government who have threatened the mass displacement of Palestinians. We will not stand by while the Netanyahu government pursues these egregious actions. If Israel does not cease the renewed military offensive and lift its restrictions on humanitarian aid, we will take further concrete actions in response, they said in a joint statement. However, it was unclear what action could be taken against Israel. We are committed to recognizing a Palestinian state as a contribution to achieving a two-state solution and are prepared to work with others to this end, they added. The three countries said the denial of humanitarian assistance to Gaza civilians risks breaching international humanitarian law and slammed abhorrent language used by members of Netanyahu's government in threatening to relocate civilians from the war area. The statement came as 22 countries, including the UK, France, and Canada, demanded that Israel immediately allow a full resumption of aid into Gaza as the Palestinian enclave faces acute starvation and famine in light of the 19-month offensive. Israel on Monday allowed a limited number of aid trucks after keeping Gaza in a total blockade since March 2. Netanyahu gave a furious response to the joint statement by the UK, France, and Canada over his Gaza takeover plan, saying their stance was a huge prize for Hamas in the ongoing Gaza war. By asking Israel to end a defensive war for our survival before Hamas terrorists on our border are destroyed and by demanding a Palestinian state, the leaders in London, Ottawa, and Paris are offering a huge prize for the genocidal attack on Israel on October 7 while inviting more such atrocities, he said. By asking Israel to end a defensive war for our survival before Hamas terrorists on our border are destroyed and by demanding a Palestinian state, the leaders in London, Ottawa, and Paris are offering a huge prize for the genocidal attack on Israel on October 7 while inviting more. Benjamin Netanyahu times trademark times Z times trademark times Y times trademark times Netanyahu May 19, 2025. The Israeli PM said all European leaders should follow U.S. President Donald Trump's example in supporting Israel and reiterated his pledge to fight till total victory is achieved. The war can end tomorrow if the remaining hostages are released, Hamas lays down its arms, its murderous leaders are exiled and Gaza is demilitarized. No nation can be expected to accept anything less and Israel certainly won't, he said. Swipe left for next video. Israel has come under mounting international pressure, including from key backer the United States, to lift a total blockade it imposed on Gaza in March. With agency inputs latest blogs